true ideology. That things come and go is a man-made idea. No such idea, nothing, exists in heaven's will. Man's mind is busy, which is why his knowledge is nothing more than the busyness of his mind. Man's mind is a thing he himself created, and he thinks that the restlessness therein is what the mind is. However, the mind is a thing in which there is nothing. The mind is the source of all things. Countless people live in the world, and countless creations exist in the world. All of them are the mind he has created. The true mind is absent of wants. It is the mind in which nothing exists, not even non-existence. Man lives in the world without knowing why, and so he lives deceiving others. Listen, all of you. Open your eyes, the eyes of your mind that are absent of want. Falseness is created through what one sees, hears, feels, speaks, and senses. For a person to become free of all of this means he has become free of his karma and habits. Man's karma and habits are created due to the life he lives, and the life he lives becomes his attachment. Thus, one's attachments are one's life, as well as the existence of one's self. Heaven is silent, and all creations are heaven, but man lives lost, for he is ignorant of heaven's will. There is no sadness other than this. A true life is one in which one does not exist. A true life is one in which one has no attachments. The true world will arrive when each person discards his countless delusions. Man is truth when he is no longer man. Thus, in order to make man truth, his individual self must be eliminated, and he must be placed in heaven. This is what it truly means to save man. Enlightenment is the process in which one finds one's original self, and that original self is everlasting and unchanging. Only when the countless affairs of man are no longer his will he understand the true will of heaven. An attachment is a thing man's thoughts create. It is a thing that is created in the false mind. Therefore, one has reached heaven when one knows that there is nothing to have in this world, or anything to take from it. Such is the will of heaven. The shortcut to the land of truth is the path in which each person understands heaven's will, engraves it in his heart, and acts accordingly. The land of truth is neither here nor there. It is inside one's mind. But man does not know this. He is utterly foolish, for he tries to find it outside of himself. Life is a drifting cloud, but people do not know this, nor would they even think it. They do not know it because of their attachment-filled minds. May man abandon his attachments and enter into the land of truth. The agony and sadness in one's mind is due to the attachments one has within. Only when man's mind is absent of all attachments will everyone in the world become one. Only then will everyone become the whole. Thus, the world will be a place where there is no distinction between you and me. The world will become a joyful place, a place where people want to live. All of these things are what man can create. They depend on his actions. Everything depends on man's mind, which is why nothing is more urgent than for man to change his mind. In order for his mind to be changed, His must be a mind that is absent of attachments. This is what it means to reach To, truth. To is the path upon which man ceases to be man. It is the path upon which he returns to the source. But because he does not know this, man cannot achieve it. Heaven is with man and shows him the way. Thus, heaven allows for the world to become one and to become the whole. Heaven creates a world in which there is no distinction between you and me. The distinction between people exists because you and I are at polar ends. The distinction between people is the start of man's selfishness. The distinctions between people exist because even though each may have everything in the world, their minds and hearts know no contentment. Those who are well off are able to eat until their bellies explode, while those who are so poor they die of starvation. This is why there must be a unifying ideology, for it is only then that man may live together eternally in the land of truth. Without a doubt, there are numerous religious denominations in the world, but man has no wisdom and is thus ignorant of the truly unifying ideology. This is an ideology that is taught amidst emptiness. It is the greatest ideology there is. It is the ideology that allows man to become one and free of any attachments. Only when he has no attachments is an individual the whole. Only then does the whole become the individual. And thus he is the whole. The ideology wherein all things of the world are one is that in which individuality does not exist. People are born into this world, and they each live their one lifetime. But as they do so, they are unable to become one due to the minds that each of them create. Countless different thoughts take shape and are brought forth into the world, which is why for man to live, creating delusions and suffering in pain, is due to the individual's selfish mind. There is nothing to have or take from the world, but due to his attachment, the attachment he has of his want to gain, he brings about his own destruction. Therefore, the ideology that allows for man to become the oneness and absent of attachments, the ideology that unifies heaven, man, and earth, is the true ideology, one that saves mankind. Man must be honored. He must be supreme. Without man, neither heaven nor earth would have any value. Heaven has always existed of itself, and all creations are heaven, just as they are. But man does not know this. That is why it is man's rightful duty to allow for his fellow man to wake up to wisdom and know this. This is a thing that can only be had when man is no longer man. Only then would such a world be eternal. It would be a world in which all things appear and disappear. It would be a world wherein everything exists.